What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about why passive income is so important, like a real life example, and I also want to talk about where to start with passive income. A lot of people are going to think I'm going to say Redbubble or something like that, and that's partially true, print on demand, but I really want to give precedence to this by viewing two different comments here. So there was a video that I posted not too long ago where I showed how I made $462 off one design. One design that I posted on multiple different platforms, and people ended up buying it. And somebody here with the name of English Talks, shout out to English Talks, he says, great video. So first of all, thank you for the support, English Talks. He says, how can you call it passive income? As far as I know, you need to keep the drive traffic to make the sales, right? I hope you explained. So I want to be clear. Maybe I wasn't clear about this before, but I want to be clear. On that video, which this is the video right here, I'll click on it. You guys can see it. The design was this design right here, this horse design, right? And the concept was I go to a website that provides these photos, provides license, provides all these things, and I pay them a one-time payment as opposed to a subscription. I pay them a one-time payment so I can get access to as many photos as I want on their website, right? And they post millions of photos. And then what I do is I take this photo and I convert it into a painting. And that's all shown in the video on how I actually get that done, right? After I convert it into a painting, I take that painting and I sell it online. And I sell it on these print-on-demand sites. I'm not selling the actual image, but I'm selling the design of it. So that design can go on a canvas, it could go on a mug, it could go on a t-shirt, whatever it is, it goes on there, it sells, right? And throughout this whole entire journey, in 30 days, $462 off that one design. Now, to be clear, I went over this because I wanted to show that there was different ways to make money online. Now, to answer English Talk's question, he says, how is this passive income? Don't you have to drive traffic to make the sales? And I'm going to say here, no. Okay? For me, yes, I might have used an Instagram bot for a little while to help boost it on Redbubble, but you got to remember, I posted this design on multiple different platforms. And I can't logically promote one design on every single platform every minute of the day. It's just impossible. You know, if I'm uploading 60 designs a day to Redbubble, I'm going to select maybe one or two to create a post on for that specific, group for the day. I'm not going to be able to go crazy. And you guys know this. I have one Instagram account per new store. Once that store's over for the month, I move on to another one. And so I'm gearing up in about a week to move on to a new store. My point is that this is passive income because I'm putting the work up front. Remember, and this is how the whole autopilot passive income name of the channel began. Autopilot, right, means that you can only turn that autopilot function on until everything gets calibrated. Until the jet is checked, until everything is perfect, right? Until it's up in the sky. Until it's up in the sky, then you hit that autopilot button. It's the same thing. When I'm running these businesses, when I'm creating these designs, I'm putting the work in up front. And then what I could do, which is after the 30-day period, sit back and relax. I don't have to promote anything. I don't have to take a look at anything. And this is just the method that I designed for myself. Other people might create methods that work for them. This is just what works for me, right? And I sit back and I enjoy the sales of those specific businesses. Just today and yesterday, woke up to a bunch of sales on Redbubble from work that I've created a year ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. The point is that I don't necessarily have to work every day for that income, as opposed to active income, where the only way that I could get paid is I have to show up for the job, and I get paid for what I do now. I don't get paid for things that I do 5 weeks ago, a year ago. I get paid right here, right now. And if I don't show up, my income stream gets cut off. Now, this is what I'm trying to preach, and this is the most important thing about this channel, is that going after passive income is drastically important. I'm going to explain why. Here's a comment that I wanted to read by Cynthia Lewis. And she was talking about, she commented on my video from Passive Income Saves Lives video. And that video, which is this video, I'll just go ahead and open it up. In this video, this is the thumbnail. I was talking about why it's so important to have passive income. And and the amount of freedom that it creates for you. And the most important aspect around passive income is that you don't have to be essentially a slave to the system. And what passive income will do for you is it will create that income flow. Now, yes, you're not going to be able to, maybe switch jobs overnight or in a week, going from working in a corporation to now working for yourself, passive income. But here's the thing. It's something that you can do over time. I'm guessing a lot of people who are watching this who are, let's say, fully grown adults or in college or something like that, you have a job. You have a job while doing the passive income thing on the side. If you don't have a job, maybe you're younger, you're a student, whatever the case may be, and you're working on passive income so that maybe when you get older, you don't have to necessarily do the things that you have to do like everybody else does going to a job. So I want to read this comment, and then I want to go ahead and kind of respond to it in the light of what we're talking about right now. So Cynthia Lewis says, this is 100% true. She's referring, by the way, to the video. She says, I am disabled, and I only work 2 days a week. I am awake at 3:30 a.m. because my boss threatened to take away my Sundays because I had to call her and had to ask her a question about the new booking system that we have only had 2 weeks, that she only had 2 weeks for, which I received on no training on. I work alone on Sundays. There's nobody I can ask. She tried to gaslight me into thinking I was stupid, which I certainly am not. I happen to be 40 years older than everyone else working there. It is a small place, so it's not a big corporation. But I say about the world today, what does it say about the world today when you get treated like that in a small business? I can't even imagine what people are going through trying to make it these huge corporate settings. Thank you for your insights. So I wanted to go over this comment because this is exactly what I'm trying to essentially talk about, guys. The reality is that if you're going to work for a company, you're going to work for somebody else. And whether you like it or not, 90% of the bosses are going to look at you like an object. It's either you can produce the work or you can't. There's no in between. There's no emotional thing about it. It's either you can or you can't. And unfortunately, these bosses, whatever you want to call them, these companies, they're not always fair. They expect a lot out of you, and they expect you to give more than what you get. They don't pay you at least in a fair amount or even equal to. They'll probably give the minimum wage or whatever they can for the specific market. With that being said, guys, and I know a lot of people say, you get what you earn and all this kind of stuff. The truth is that it's a harder life working for somebody else. Now, I think it was maybe Grant Cardone or somebody else who said this, but it's actually harder to become unsuccessful. Or not unsuccessful, but, not following your dreams. And I totally understand why, because even though there is a difficult path, trying to achieve what you want to achieve, trying to make passive income, trying to build something, it's even harder to show up every single day at some sort of job that you don't want to be at, or some place where you don't feel like you're treated properly, with the right way. And you have to show up every day, give your best effort. Meanwhile, you're not getting compensated in return. I think at the end of the day, everybody just wants to be compensated fairly. And the one thing that you can guarantee from platforms like Redbubble, platforms like all these things, is the compensation's up front. It's all based on what you produce. It's all based on what you do. If you're the type of person where you feel like you've been giving a lot to corporations, to other businesses, and you haven't been getting much in return, then it's time that you take up passive income, building your own business, seriously. And the reason why I say that is because, guys, it's only going to get worse. There's going to be less job opportunities in the future. Technology is going to aid in the decreasing of the workforce. And by that time, there's not going to be a world supplemental income, whatever you want to call it, that's going to come in and save everybody right away. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to be a slow burnout. And that's even if it happens. And people are thinking it's bad now. Like I said, it's only going to get worse. So if you're working right now at a place you don't want to work, keep the job. But what you need to do is you really need to pursue this very, very seriously. Because if you want to really change your life, it's going to take an immense amount of work. Now, where does it start? The first thing that I think everybody should learn how to do is everybody should learn how to create their own website. At the end of the day, your website is your own asset. And it doesn't matter if you're on Redbubble, it doesn't matter if you're on Zazzle, it doesn't matter if you're on Society6, all these different platforms. It's great. Yes, you'll make money. Yes, you're receiving a bunch of traffic for what you're doing and all this, and you don't necessarily have to do marketing for it. But at the end of the day, you're still at the whims of others. Remember, power is ownership. Ownership is power. If you have ownership over your own website, you can choose what you do, right? Nobody's going to just close down your website randomly because it's yours. You own it. If you're going to work at a Redbubble, work for a Zazzle, as a quote-unquote contractor, the way we've been discussing in all these videos, talking about how to tag properly, how to title properly, talking about how to get your designs up, how to get your designs seen, how to do the designing. If we talk about all these things, guys, that's great. But let's be 100% honest. Wouldn't we, as people, can get our accounts taken down in a split second? No emotion, no remorse behind it. All of our hard work. And that's essentially why I believe in diversification. If you're going to build a business, why have that business relying on somebody else? Like, I've seen this happen so many times. People will get into Etsy, people will get into eBay, people will get into Zazzle, and they get so good at it that now they're fully relying on it for everything that they have. And they can't think of, and when the question is presented, what happens? What if something happens where your account gets shut down? They can't even think about it. They can't even imagine it. The reason why they can't imagine it is because it's going to cause so much pain, so much detriment to themselves, and they might even have to go back and get a regular job at that point. They got to pay the bills. So what I'm here to tell you is there are going to be a few things that we're going to want to keep in mind. The first thing that we're going to want to do is learn how to save our money. I know this might sound crazy, but we're going to have to save our money. This is one thing that, I'm not the best in, but because my dad around me, he taught me how to save my money properly. That's kind of what I learned and how I got better at that. I'm not going to sit here and preach to the choir and say, you got to get good at that, because I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today. But with that being said, saving money is the first thing, because if an event happens where you do get fired or you lose your account or something happens like that, when you lose something like that, you can rely on your savings for a little while, and it's not that bad, right? You'll have enough time to continue on. And it happens to the best of us, guys. It happens to everybody. There's always going to be ups and downs. Elon Musk has ups and downs in Tesla. I mean, I heard just like a few days ago he lost not hundreds, but almost $200 million in Tesla because he was just even talking about Twitter. People were starting to pull out of Tesla. I mean, just a whole bunch of different things. But regardless, everybody has their ups and downs. So it happens to everybody. That's the first thing. The second thing after saving money is starting to build multiple streams of income. One of those streams could be your active job. That's fine, right? One of those streams could be your active job. But you're going to have to start learning how to own your own assets. Even if other streams are, yes, Redbubble, Zazzle, Society6, I don't know, maybe you're doing other things similar to that. You got to learn you have to own your own website. It's just the way it is. The next thing you're going to have to do, which is really like part 4 to this equation, is you're going to have to learn how to drive traffic alone. That's just the way it is. The reason what makes everybody drive so hard to join FBA, to join Merch by Amazon, to join Kindle Direct Publishing, to join all these different places is because they know that the traffic is taken care of for them. But if you can do what other people cannot, which is what most people can't. Most people cannot drive traffic, and I want to say why, but let's just go with this for a minute. If you could do what other people mostly cannot, you're going to be in a very good place financially. Because if you think about it, there's only 2 components to every business. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You need traffic and you need the infrastructure. The infrastructure in our case, we're not going to have buildings. We're not going to have. We need a website, right? Now, yes. I've spoken about this before. Redbubble's great. Zazzle's great. All this stuff. But you do not own the asset. You are in risk every single day you log onto that computer and you try to make money off those websites. Yes, they're great. And yes, we'll talk about how to make money on them. And yes, we'll always support other businesses that help other people out. But the truth is you have no ownership of it. Okay? It is a dictatorship on these platforms. You can't democracy your way out of it. You can't politic your way out of it. It just there's no option for us. Okay? But you're going to have to learn how to build traffic. Now, I want to be clear. A lot of people can't build traffic not because it's difficult, but because they're just not willing to spend enough time doing it. That's the honest truth of it. They're just not willing to spend enough time doing it. Okay? Building traffic is simple. When Google looks at all these different websites over time, right? They're comparing website by website by website. And when I say they, I don't mean people. I mean an algorithm that people built, right? And this algorithm, and put it in simple, right, looks at these different websites and says, based on a certain set of factors, this one is more valuable than this one. And this one is more valuable than that one. So let's go ahead and present these results to our consumer, which is aka the people who are searching on Google for this result. And guess what? At no cost. When you do SEO or when you have your website ranked number 2 or ranked number 3, you don't have to pay Google to get there. Now, you might pay an SEO expert to do it for you, but you don't have to pay Google, and you don't have to pay an SEO expert, okay? I talked to Cynthia about this yesterday, but in the comments, but we will have a channel. I think it will be the other channel that you guys know, the DIY income channel. I'll just go ahead and show you guys, where I plan to do all kinds of other videos aside from what we're talking about here. Let me go ahead and open it up here. YouTube.com, DIY income tutorials. Let's go ahead and open this up. This channel right here, right? This channel is where we're going to show the other stuff, you know, the building the websites, the how to generate the SEO traffic, how to do the YouTube automation cash flow businesses, how to do all these different things, how to actually make money. And we're going to show this on this channel. So I'm going to start daily uploading to that channel eventually. It's just a matter of time. And we're going to be daily uploading to here, so don't worry about that. But what I'm saying is that we have to do these things. There's no way around it. If we don't, guys, we're at the mercy of corporations, businesses, and as we know, majority of us are not gonna be treated fairly. I mean, it's just the way it is. It is the reality, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you know, there's gonna be so many people that deal with this, but if you're watching this channel right here, right now, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity within yourself to take it seriously or not take it seriously. It's your choice, but we're going to keep going, moving in the same direction. We're going to be talking about passive income on the other channel, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see those things. Obviously, if you don't want to see them, don't subscribe. But we're going to go into something that I've been talking about is the YouTube cash flow businesses, right? I've been working on that behind the scenes. And really what that is making certain videos where you bank on making ad money, right? That's one of them. And I'm not talking about this YouTube channel or the other ones. And there's certain channels that we're building. There's certain methods behind it where we don't use our own voice or anything like that. We're going to talk about building websites, the SEO, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, all right? So if you're interested in that, check out that channel. But that's just my message, right? That's what I believe, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.